Good afternoon, everyone. It is Krebs here, and welcome to another Company of Heroes episode. This time around, we're going to be taking a look at a 1v1 that is going to be played on the map, well, Angoville. Don't know what the heck that was, but okay, that's how we're going to get this match started. I've got two messages before we actually get started here. The first being, Krebs, where has the replays been? I've been making videos, guys. I've been making videos for Company of Heroes, if you haven't noticed. I've been making a few tutorial videos. The thing is, I don't want to be making only replays. At times, I like to do live games. At times, more recent times, I want to be doing tutorials as well. And whenever I think of my schedule, I aim to get like 2 or 3 Company of Heroes videos out a week. And for me, making a tutorial video is one of those videos that I can make. I don't aim for 2 or 3 replays a week for Company of Heroes. I aim for 2 or 3 videos of Company of Heroes a week. So those videos could be of anything. In fact, making a tutorial video is in fact longer to make than an actual replay. So you guys should try to appreciate these things a little bit, or try to at least understand that these videos, yeah, fair enough, there wasn't a replay in the last, I don't know, week or so, but doesn't mean I haven't been making Company of Heroes videos. There has been Company of Heroes videos. But anyway, that's just me. I want to change things up every now and then. I don't want to do the exact same thing. You know, doing the same replays all the time, whatever. But anyway, one more message before we get started here. We know that Company of Heroes 2 is coming out, and if you've been thinking at all about the circumstances and the position of Company of Heroes, you might be thinking, what is going to happen to the original game? Is it going to be shut down? Is it going to be kept online? Well, I have to tell you right now, it's going to be kept online. But the hosting company called KrebsCOHO is going to be going out of business, so Company of Heroes is going to have to be turned over to Steamworks. It's actually going to be switched on over, transition over to Steamworks. And what is this transition going to be like? Well, I have no clue. I don't know if the Company of Heroes is going to be offline for like a certain number of time, or if it's going to be an easy transition, it'll still be online. I don't know. But what I do know is that when they switch on over to Steamworks, all the online features of Company of Heroes aren't going to be there. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe you'll be able to do basic matches, but auto matches won't work. Maybe the chat rooms won't work. But initially, all of the online features won't be there. But hopefully over the coming months after it's been released, then it will eventually update, and those features, the full features that we have right now, will still be present in the game. One more thing is that the leaderboard, so statistics and such that has been accumulated over the last 6 years, will be reset. Okay, so you won't be able to keep your stats anymore. They are thinking about keeping a record of the stats and possibly trying to transition that over as well, but there's potential in that all the stats will be reset for leaderboards, for all the statistics, amount of games that have been played, and so on and so forth. So nothing we can really do there. I don't know, maybe they're gonna hard code it or something, get the actual values and just change it, who knows. But I'm just letting you guys know right here, right now. So anyway, the players that we're looking at today is one American going by the name of InsaneContador, versing his Wehrmacht opponent, Pffreestyler. Alright, so we're at the 5-second mark, and we're going to be getting started in 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and on we go to another very exciting matchup in the Company of Heroes Battlefield. I feel like I've got a bit of gas from my stomach stuck in my throat at the moment, in my esophagus. So not that you guys even care, but geez, I think I'd rather tell you guys right now than just burp live in your faces and you having no clue why the hell the Krebs is doing it. I can control my orifices. Damn, this is starting to sound fucking weird. I guess it's Krebs' pharmacy side. Honestly, guys, the stuff that I hear in the pharmacy can be some stuff you'd never want to hear. I have to hear people's problems left and right. So anyway, let's focus on the game at hand. We've got Americans coming on down along this side, and the Pioneers trying to go along the right-hand side. Notice that the Americans didn't actually build a barracks in their base yet. They've only built engineers, and they sent out the first engineer squad over to this right-hand side, and so preventing the pioneers from actually capping. They put them inside the building. Notice what's going on here. There's a bit of a dance happening between the two. The engineers were inside the building, then they came out trying to cap this point to do something, not staying inside this point the entire time. Whilst the pioneers, they can't get close to this manpower point because they'll be intruded upon by the engineers inside the house, and so they have opted to go for the victory point, which is near safest option, but it's still freaking annoying. Could you imagine if you were the Axis side? The fact that you want to take out some engineers over here, but they're going to just go over into the house, and you really, really, really need this cutoff point, but you can't get it because there's guys in the house. So the lesson to be learned, kids, is a house can be a deadly weapon. Alright, so you can't do it on the other side of the map, can you? I mean, you can go in the house here, cut off the point to the right-hand side, but you can't really go over here and just hide in the house. There is no houses. You can't hide inside the wheel. The little buggy over here. It's not a wheelbarrow. The cart. You can't hide inside the cart and get cover. You can get cover behind it. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. Krebs is just talking absolute trash at the moment. Let's take a look at what else is going on the field. We have a Schwimmwagen out on the field. That's going to be harassing across the field. We've already seen him trying to go along the right-hand side and harass InsaneContador, who's been trying to put these engineers inside the building. They can get them out. Actually, they've already captured the manpower point, so they're just keeping this HQ just because it's a tactical advantage. There's viability in having it. Riflemen now out on the field because the barracks has been built. How many engineers in total? There are 3 engineers out on the field, the barracks, and then this rifleman squad. MG42 covering the left-hand flank and suppressing them right across the hill. Notice how there's an elevation over here, and it's still, these bullets are so strong. These bullets must be like they must be like armor-piercing rounds or something if they can pierce through a hill like that and come out the other side and suppress guys. That is... wow, the German technology. You know, I know the Germans made UFOs, but come on, they made armor-piercing rounds that can go through hills and mountains. Damn, they were so advanced. So we've got the Schwimmwagen still harassing along the left-hand side of the map. He's been scurrying to and fro just like a mouse, right on over to the right-hand side, then left-hand side, right-hand side, left-hand side. And that's what you're supposed to do with it. You know, if you can't find use for it on one side, you might as well be using it elsewhere. Again, more of these armor-piercing rounds through the dirt, suppressing these guys. You will not be able to actually do that in Company of Heroes 2. Rifleman squad coming up from the side. And I think we had a wee engagement over here where pioneers died against engineers. So that's why PFF is saying lol F Pios. Alright, so let's go switch on over to PFF Pffreestyler. Since he's going to be the one that's doing the teching, maybe we can see in the top left corner when he's going to be teching on up. But he's got that Wehrmacht corps down at the moment. He's got some Volksgrenadiers out on the build, so all these offensive units. And he's down a Pioneer squad, so unfortunately his capping might be a little bit stagnated right now. We've got the engineers capping along the right hand side, trying to connect it up with these points, and there we go. There's the Schwimm coming on up to ruin the days of the engineers over here. Look at that, harass, 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 coming up for a counter harass, and so the Schwimm is starting to take damage because it's too close. Where could they be microing? I have no freaking idea, but here we go. We've got the Volksgrenadiers coming on up to provide some support. No, in fact, they're going to be locking the Schwimmwagen in. Screw you, Schwimmwagen. You know, it's all you by yourself. I don't give a care about you. Barbed wiring is retreat path. Oh, look at what we've got. We've got more barbed wire down here. The reason being is because, so it denies anyone who wants to come in from this angle getting into base effectively. They can instead get suppressed by this MG. Because there's a gap, as you can see, between the ranges. So good use of the barbed wire. Riflemen trying to come in for a flank again, but the superiority of numbers in the Wehrmacht forces is preventing them from doing anything at the moment. You can tell that the Americans want to, they really want to decap the left-hand side and get it as their own. But hey-oh, you can't be too greedy. They've got the right-hand side essentially in their territory. This observation post has been placed down on top of the fuel point here, so going on up from a high fuel point with an extra plus 10 on top of it, giving it plus 26 fuel to the Americans, whilst the left hand side is still essentially in the hands of the Wehrmacht. So what you could say is it's a 50-50 split. what could be nice to try and decap this area is to grab this manpower point, because if you can do that, then the right hand side is effectively cut off. And so, you know, good strategies to actually do stuff like that. It's a little bit awkward though. See, this is the thing. This area is easy to capture, whereas this one seems to be harder to capture. And that's because, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just more to the side of the map. It seems like not many people actually fight along that side, but technically speaking, you could grab it. There's a house right there that you could put your infantry into, but not many people actually fight on that front. It seems like the majority of skirmishing happens in diagonals, so along the left-hand side up here, and then down along the right-hand side over here. Let's see what else is going on. We've got some pioneers inside the base. What the hell are these guys doing? We had a little bit of an engagement happening up there. Look what they did. Sneaky little pioneers. They didn't crawl through this MG. They broke down the freaking fence. You know how they did that? They probably used the flamethrowers to break down that fence and harassing the HQ. Look at these engineers. I've been calling them pioneers. Engineers. They've been burning down this HQ, taking down some health on it. I love it. I love it. I love the harassment. Now they're getting behind the HQ. They're getting behind the HQ because they want to get a little bit of cover. And look at what's going on. They went from pinned down to suppressed, and now they're going to be fully backstanded and burning this HQ down some more. Alright, so these MGs can't get inside the building because they'll be killed by the flames. And what are they going to do? I think they might be coming from the side, or attempting it anyway. Let's quickly take a look at what's happening up here. We've got harassment going on in the base, so both opponents are essentially up inside each other's faces. Not so much the Wehrmacht and the Allies base, but definitely the Allies and the Wehrmacht base. And I love it! The pioneers. We're not going to go inside that building. We're just going to repair it. You're going to be damaging it, and we're just going to be undoing your damage, or rather fixing it up. Alright, okay, that sounds cool to me. And so the engineers just falling on back through that wee gap in the fence that they made. Love how they don't know how to jump over a fence. Instead, they have to actually break a fence down. That's one way to think about it. I could imagine doing that in real life. Going up to some farmers' wee plot, seeing a fence and being like, how can I get past this? Oh, I'll just flame it down. Alright. Well, whatever works, I guess. I guess Chuck Norris, real men burn down fences rather than climbing over them. Okay, left-hand side, we've got some Fox Grenadiers with the Grenadiers and Panther Shreks anticipating any sort of tanks. So we've got a tank depot out for InsaneContador. He's opted for a tank depot because he's got a plus 26 fuel point over here. PFF Pffreestyler has plus 26 fuel income at the moment, whereas I imagine InsaneContador will have 36. Yes, he does, because of that plus 10 from the observation post. Okay, that's cool. So we at least have a T2 Krieg barracks out for PFF Pffreestyler over here, hence the Grenadiers. And now we've got some AT guns, packs coming out as well. Again, anticipation of any sort of tanks. Maybe they're more are they more worried about Greyhounds, like motor pool units, or are they more worried about tank depot units? I'm not even sure if PFF Pffreestyler knows that the observation post is placed down on the fuel point on the right hand side. Funny thing is, if you don't see it, you don't know it. Okay, because if you look at the tactical map, you can see all the variety of points and exactly how much income each of them gives. But if you've never seen that the fuel point on the right hand side was OP'd, then on your tactical map it's still going to look like a plus 16 point, as if it was just a high point. Whereas if you actually spot it, then it's going to mystically change into a plus 26 point. So I don't know if he's actually seen it or not. Maybe PFF Pffreestyler has no freaking clue what's going on. Maybe he's completely oblivious to the fact. Okay, but the riflemen taking some shots along here. Look at that, it's a shooting gallery right now. They're all just taking their aims at over here. I bet FPS Russia is somewhere in there. I don't know. Good evening, my friends. Good day, my friends. This is FPS Russia. Krebs is still speaking shit. Okay, so engineers moving along the right-hand side, coming in for possible flank. But look at this. We've got a big superiority of numbers of the Wehrmacht along the left-hand side. This is going to be kind of hard to dislodge, don't you think? To to pull these out, pull this weed formation of the axes along the left-hand side. They've even bunkered down. They've got a reinforcement point on up over here. In fact, what if PFF Pffreestyler even gone for? I don't know what kind of doctrine he's gone for. But I imagine it's not going to be defensive related if he's got a half-track out on the field. Unless he's going to be getting them to go inside the half-track. Nope, he's just using it to reinforce, I think. Large range of the machine gun, stretching on right down along here, suppressing some of these grenadiers who are spreading out. Barbed wire placed along the left-hand side to help prevent flanks from riflemen. And look at this, just a few stray guys inside over here that's being a pain in the absolute arse because of this MG being able to just hit one guy occasionally. But the Panzerschreck's coming in to try and harass this barracks because it's put on the edge of the territory. So, you know, we always like to say, try to optimize your time saving by putting buildings on the edge of the sector. Well, it looks like it's actually sort of reversed a little bit here. Now it's indeed taking damage, but there's so many engineers out on the field that doesn't really actually matter. 4 engineers. 4 engineers out in the field because initially the Americans had 3 and then they bought another one. I'm guessing this is going to be good because now that the tanks are out in the field, they can use the engineers to go ahead and repair these tanks at a quick rate. So AT guns coming on up. We've got the Sherman right over here. Hello, Mr. Sherman. And kaboom! Right in the side, right in the kisser. Look at that. Again. But dinging right off. And keep moving back. Keep moving back. Yeah. This penetration shot's doing a lot of damage. Ooh. Not that it's really going to matter. These engineers are going to be able to repair it so fast. How many do we have? Still those 4. Yeah, still those 4. And overall, it's kind of quiet along the western front, isn't it? Over in Normandy. Whatever. Okay. In Angoville. Okay, but they're still firing away at this barracks. Might as well harass it. These guys are repairing the Sherman, and there you go. Look how fast that was. These quick repairs. These guys, you know, they came all the way to Europe, but they were mechanics back in the homeland. They were old mechanics back in America. They were. Look how fast they repaired the Sherman. Good job to them. More shots, long range of that AT gun, providing a lot of hurt on top of everything here. Right hand side, we've got a rifleman inside the building, and Volksgrenadiers putting down some sandbags real quick to give them a green cover as they're trying to take on this building over here, but it doesn't matter now. What the hell are they doing? So riflemen just pulled on back. I guess they're just waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Yeah, looks like it. Reinforcements are coming down along the right hand side. If they can't beat the left turn flank, then they're going to come down along the right. And instead, what they're doing now is they've just left an engineer squad behind, and they're going to be repairing it. And this looks like it might be a harassive half-track, and indeed it is! Look at what we've got going. The clown car is just about to unleash here. Come on, clown car, get out. I think he's just waiting to get behind this MG emplacement before he does anything. And I imagine he's going to go for this tank depot first. At least that's what I would do anyway. Go for it. No, no, no! Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh, it actually looked like a lot of guys were killed in that engagement. But in fact, it was only a single pioneer. Whoa, that was lucky. It looked like a lot of guys were killed, but instead they actually went inside the half-track right there. That could have been a devastating toll on the Americans' force if those Panzerschrecks were let off, destroyed that tank depot and whatever else. But instead, I guess the Americans saw that coming in time because they got the Sherman back in the base to defend. The main offensive unit right now is this Sherman. The Sherman. Riflemen still trying to harass over here, getting inside the building. Up north over here, the Sherman was poking out a bit too much. Rifleman squad going down. Losses that you can't afford. Defensive doctrine selected for Pffreestyler, one that I didn't really think he would actually go for because he's got a half-track out in the field, but maybe he's got a lot of infantry, so maybe it's not necessarily the worst option possible. Another neat thing is that you can also build a flak, and having a flak right on the front line. Oh! You tickle me so much, Krebs. You tickle me so much. That sounded a bit perverted. Okay, anyway. Sherman coming down along the right-hand side. Oh, this is no normal Sherman. this is the normal Sherman up here. This is a crocodile Sherman. Hello, Mr. Crocodile. And look at how it spews all these flames out of it. I'd actually like to find out why this Sherman was called a crocodile. I find it a bit funny and kind of strange because a crocodile doesn't spit flames, and just in general, a crocodile doesn't spit anything, does it? Interesting. I'd like to find out why it's called a crocodile. Anyway, we've got a strafing run coming down on top of everything, but that was the For the Fatherland called down. Oh my gosh, crocodile being killed. These things are expensive to actually bring on the field. Something like 110 fuel. It's more expensive than a normal Sherman. But For the Fatherland coming down. For the Fatherland is so useful. A long time ago, I made an episode about hotkeys in Company of Heroes, and I also did a wee test during the episode where I showed the significance of For the Fatherland and how useful it can be. And basically what happened, it was, I've lost my trail of thought. What happened was that when you had For the Fatherland not called on, you lost a lot of guys from a strafing run. Whereas when you had a For the Fatherland called on, you lost about half as many guys. So, you know, half is a big difference. Especially if you've blobbed up your guys a lot. Okay, we've got a Sherman coming on down over here. What the heck is this? Another Sherman. So we've got double Shermans heading down along the middle side and along the right hand side. Going in for another base assault. So it looks like both these teams making a joust at each other's bases, harassing like mad. I guess maybe what InsaneContador is trying to do is tell Pffreestyler, hey, you got to bring your stuff over here, like your packs and such. But at the same time, Pffreestyler is going to have a difficult bringing his stuff over down here, because if he does, then he leaves the left-hand flank open, and it takes a long time to even travel down here, and just because they're turning around and moving down this direction leaves him so prone to getting killed. Volksgrenadier squad taken out by the Sherman. Sherman's still bringing down some damage, but now he's a bit concerned because we've got some Panzerschrecks out in the field over in the base. Notice how they have double Panzerschrecks on each squad, so that's 4 in total between the two squads. A lot of firepower to take out some tanks, and look at that, stray shots going along the distance of Angoville, crushing the wall in his retreat because he can, like a boss. And what is he going to be doing now? It's coming over along towards the middle side. We've got another Sherman out on the field. That was the one initially, but it moved on back, and now it's just poking from the side. Harass, harass, harass. What I'd really love to see is this Sherman harassing here. These AT guns turning around, and then infantry coming in along the backside. That would be an absolute great maneuver to try and confuse your opponent what they could try to do. It could work. I think it could definitely work. Especially if you time it right with the strafing runs and everything. Okay, so 19 minutes in the game, no clear victor at the moment. 281 points for the Axis, 464 for the Americans. Both VPs, two VPs are on the right hand side, so that's why the Axis have managed to whittle down so much on their VPs. So the right hand side is always important to capture. But yeah, it's in the hands of the Allies. Okay, but look at him go. It's going to be a cat and mouse game with these two guys. Two squads. Yeah, it's just going to be going on back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Not looking too good when you've got all these Panzerschrecks right there. But a change of events. We've got... we had a strafing run come down right on top, killing so much infantry here. But potentially the Sherman could go down. Run, Sherman, run! Don't stop! Don't stop! Don't stop! Don't stop! Don't stop! So let's keep going. I think it's too late. No! Main gun destroyed and the engine destroyed, most importantly. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of delay. He paused momentarily, and that could have been so vital in him getting away with that Sherman. But instead, it's going down, spinning out of control, doing a bit of the whirlwind breakdance move right in the middle of the ground before he dies. Okay. And now we've got harassment coming down along the left-hand side, but look at this! We've got a flag being put down, strafing run coming down, killing a bunch of guys along the field, including some on the MG, some on the pack gun itself. Two Shermans coming in from the side, one being a crocodile, flames coming down everywhere. Engineers trying to move on in with their flamethrowers, and it looks like a whole bunch of death, screaming of death absolutely everywhere. But look at this, all these guys going down. AT gun coming down in the backside. Looks like, oh my gosh, this could be a big blow to the Americans at the moment. Satchel charge coming down. Americans, more like the Axis, sorry. But satchel charge coming down, damaging the flak, but not actually destroying it. One Sherman killed in that engagement. And now the Allies having to pull on out, unfortunately. So frustrating because they managed to do so much damage. It's frustrating because they managed to do so much damage but not keep up the pace. Instead losing one of their Shermans, unfortunately, here. And this Crocodile was way too brave for his good because he was almost taken out by these Panther Strikes. So lucky that they missed, or else Sherman would have been gone. But anyway, right hand side is completely open for the taking at the moment. The Allies have lost quite a bit, and they're totally relying on their doctrinal airborne doctrine at the moment to make use of these strafing runs and such. But unfortunately, if the unit preservation isn't there, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to be so successful. In total, we saw 3 Sherman varieties go down so far this match. So 3 out of 4 have already gone down. 1 Crocodile still alive. Strafing run coming down again, killing off so many men. I'd like to see for the Fatherland come down. For the Wehrmacht, they can just about afford it. They can afford it just now, and that would be good, so good to keep these men alive, especially when these strafing runs come down. But okay, Pack unfortunately taking out the crew of it, but no worries. We've got medics just over here nearby to pick up the wounded and turn them into the walking dead. Okay. But again, all that the Americans are relying on is this Sherman. I think that might have been air supply drop. Let's go on over to Contador, see what he's gone on up to. I think that was, yeah, it was, because he brought down a free MG on the field. He doesn't even need, well, he doesn't even need to get a WSC. All he needs is these air supply drops, and that's going to give him free mortars, free MGs to start breaking down the Axis line. And in my opinion, the mortars will be so useful. Especially to spray down these areas where there's been a high concentration of defensive units or just infantry units of the Wehrmacht. Okay, but we've got veterancy 2 for the infantry here, providing them better capabilities of withstanding bullet fire. Why? Kind of funny that he's opted for Vet 2. I mean, you know, Vet 2 is universally useful, and eventually you need it. You need it to get to Vet 3 to get plus 28% health. I'm just saying it's interesting because there's not that many riflemen, so to say, on the field, and most of the damage that's being put down is pretty much just like Crocodile flames and engineer flames. Maybe it's for the strafing run? Does strafing run count as something that the veterancy would counter? I don't know. Anyway, AT gun blasted to the past there. These guys, whew, they had a bit of a joyride. And we've got another bunker put down, one immediately just down the road over here. I'd love to see some stray Pioneer squad go to the right hand side and just decap whatever's happening. I think that's why the Americans have opted for keeping a single rifleman squad over on that side, just in case, you know, just in case if something like that actually happens. It would be good to see it. Come on, strafing run. Come on, strafing run. You can call it. Plus 64 munitions. You've got it because nobody's decapping your right-hand side. And you got it because you've OP'd the high munitions points. Wow, wow, wee, wah. Very nice, indeed. All these guys killed off like crazy here. And I'd love to see these engineers have gotten in there quicker so that they could have finished off some of these squads, such as the one-man Grenadier squad here. Unfortunately, not able to. See, this is the difficult thing. Contador is trying to push out of his base, but he's doing it a bit wrong. At the same time, he's trying to push out of his base, but look at the amount of free squads that he's giving the Wehrmacht right now. Because of all these strafing runs, all the wounded. He just got a free... PFF Pffreestyler just got a free Grenadier squad from that. I think they just picked up about 5 men. And there's another man who's going to be picked up in a second here as well. Alright. Look at that. Free men. Okay, Crocodile on the chase. But how could the Americans defuse this? Yeah, that was a groan of because it'd be difficult. It would be difficult. That's the thing. It'd be difficult because the bunkers are priority number one. But the bunkers, when you go for defensive doctrine, you can get fortify the perimeter, which gives you extra bunker health. I think something like extra 50% health or something like that. So it's going to be more difficult to actually take out. It'd be frustrating. You won't. Normally, you can throw a satchel charge on a normal bunker and destroy it with one satchel charge. You can't do that with a defensive bunker. I think you need two to actually do it. So yeah, can be quite annoying. Right hand side, the Wehrmacht must have realized what was going on, and now they want to decap it. I guess they're confident enough on the left hand side, and so they've decided to come over here, say hello to the good old Yanks, and take their points, like any good guest would. Alright, but overall I'm getting the general impression, the general feeling that the Americans are on the back foot, if anything, because what are they relying upon? Well, they're relying upon these tanks to be successful, and unfortunately 3 of them have gone down. We've seen some riflemen go down earlier in the game, and it's stuff that they need, isn't it? You know, it's stuff that they can't afford, these losses. Okay, so maybe strafing run again. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a strafing run. Boom, 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 boom. Damaging more guys than actually killing them. 3 going down, but a whole lot of damage. Okay, I'd love to see some mines actually be put down by the Americans. Putting down some mines over here, for example, in the choke point, along the destroyed wall, along here. Something just where you anticipate your enemies to actually come from, because it's cheaper than these strafing runs. And so what's happening now is it's become a war of attrition almost, and the oh man, as much as the Americans want to move out, I don't think they're going to be able to if they keep fighting this way, where the Grenadiers are going to keep on getting more squads of Grenadiers. One of the best counters actually for this is to go for WSC, get some snipers, because usually snipers will be one-shot kills. Remember, you can only pick up the wounded, you can't pick up the actual dead and turn them into the Walking Dead, literally. You can't reanimate them. So snipers will actually one-shot kill guys, and it'll be quite useful to prevent these medics from doing anything, and at the same time just finishing off these squads quite quickly. That's what I think. That's what I think. Okay, we've got Grenadiers over here destroying the observation post. This stuff is kind of key and critical to the American success, because now their manpower rate has become a little bit retarded, a little bit reduced. There we go. Bunkers getting mortared the shit out of right from the side over here. And that is it. That is it out. That's one way you do it. All these guys moving on to the right hand side, completely disregarding the left hand side now. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're just more willing to take out the right hand side, because they realize if they do, then the Americans literally have nothing to fight back with. They don't have any. They wouldn't have any more resources to work with. No more munitions, no more fuel, and that's what we see actually happening right now. Plus 16 fuel point has been DOP'd, and so is being capped up by the Axis Grenadiers. And there comes a Sherman flying in as fast as he possibly can to kill these guys. And look at that, blocking the retreat. Stay like that, stay like that, stay like that. You could kill squad, you could. Ah, Willie burn. It seems like it's so hard to burn a squad on retreat, doesn't it? Oh man, this crocodile is like just in full pelt forward. Or it was anyway. Okay. It would have been nice to finish off the squads, because that's how you just get back into a game like this. You need to keep on killing squads, because he's getting back a bunch of squads. Oh my god, we had a defensive artillery here. Wow, that's 125 munitions. Defensive artillery. You call it down on a building of your ownership. You can call it down on strategic points, VPs, and of your ownership. And that's what he did just there, and it killed a bunch of guys. Even heard that the squad went down. Maybe it was a number of squads, actually. Well, we see no engineers at all on the field, so yeah. That killed quite a lot of engineers. again, losses that they cannot afford. They needed those engineers to repair these tanks on the field, but now they can't do it. We've got 2 Sherman running away. We've got 2 Crocodile. Yeah, it's not looking too good for the Allies at all. Left-hand side, Captain on up, but more bunkers coming down. How annoying can it get? How annoying can it get? Oh dear. Whatever your Wehrmacht opponent, or if you ever play Wehrmacht and go defensive and you have ever used the defensive doctrine, one of the most annoying things to do when you actually have an upper hand is build more bunkers. Because it's a conservative thing to do, but it's actually so annoying and so useful as well. Because in the long term, you get more infantry out of those bunkers, and at the same time, Allies need to concentrate on taking out those bunkers. And there's so many, and it's gonna be hard, and still gonna be hard too because of the extra health. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the replay. I guess Contador must have dropped out of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And where did Contador go wrong? I think it's just the execution of a certain few things. Losing a few Shermans where he shouldn't have. I love the idea of harassing the base and everything like that. But yeah, just the execution. Coming in from the side, having these guys turn around, then moving guys in. It's all about timing, isn't it? So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope you're looking forward to more Company of Heroes videos. Not necessarily replays, but videos. Until next time, I will catch you all later.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.